when I was researching, looking for teams, looking for cool stories, I found a team that their story kind of resembles the movie Any Given Sunday.
What are you going to do?
We're going to talk about the prime years of one of the top-tier arena football teams around the turn of the century, late 90s, early 2000s. We're talking about the Arizona Rattlers.
Loveable losers, they losers, you love them. Having conversations, maybe drinking beers. Lovable, lovable, lovable losers.
This team was helmed by a former Dallas Cowboys quarterback, legendary Danny White. His playing career ended in '88, and he was announced as the head coach of this team in 1991.
What was like his record for his first season?
First year in 1992 season, they finished 4-6. They did not qualify for the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
But that was the only time in Danny White's career that he didn't.
Okay.
So he coached for 11 years in the AFL total.
So 10 years.
10. Yep.
Okay, so what was their best season?
Their best season, they had 2 championship runs in 1994 and 1997.
Okay.
So they went to the Arena Bowl and won Arena Bowl 8 and Arena Bowl 11.
We were freshmen in high school in 1997.
The second one of those two. We were little kids the first time they won the Arena Bowl.
Oh, man.
Arena Bowl 8, the MVP of the game was their quarterback, a guy named Cedric Bonner, left-handed quarterback, one of the all-time greats in this league. He was the MVP of the game because he scored 4 touchdown passes. He got a touchdown pass every quarter of the game.
Okay, very consistent.
Yep. And they won a close game against the Orlando Predators, 36-31. So low scoring for arena football, too. Like normally it's in the 50s.
I just have to take a moment. There is a team called the Orlando Predators.
A little bit Chris Hansen-y, huh?
A little bit on the nose. I mean, isn't that where the...
There's a hockey team called the Nashville Predators, too. So Predators is used a few times in professional sports.
But just, I don't know, something about putting a Florida city with it.
Or with it, Orlando, yeah. You want to, like, hey, go ahead and take a seat.
Yeah, well, that just... I think there's, like, that town of just, like... Predators
live.
There is, and it's in Orlando or near.
It's in Florida, so it's like in the swamps of Florida.
So, like, don't call them Predators.
Orlando Predators finished the season 11-1, and the only loss they lost was the last week of the year to the Tampa Bay Storm. They lost by a point.
Oh man!
So they were that close to undefeated championship season, but they lost the last the last week of the season in the championship game.
And as good as they were, this story's not even about them.
Yeah. The Rattlers lost to Orlando both of their regular season games. They played them. They lost by 10 the first time, and they lost by 2 touchdowns the second time. So the Arena Bowl 8 ended kind of dramatically, too. There was a last-second touchdown pass. Cedric threw a touchdown to Calvin Shakesnader.
Oh, wait. His last name was Shakesnader?
Yep.
And his nickname was
Shakesnader.
Oh, okay.
With an X in the middle of there.
You know, if he had been born 10 years later, his nickname would have been Sharknado.
Yep.
But that didn't exist when he was getting a nickname.
Nope. Yeah, the Sharknado was just a myth then.
Just a Tara Reid pipe dream.
So our Arizona Rattlers in the mid-90s, they won 2 Arena Bowls, 1994 and 1997. In between, in 95, they went to the playoffs, lost to the Iowa Barnstormers, Kurt Warner in the quarterfinals.
Kurt Warner, though.
Yeah, Kurt, NFL MVP, Hall of Famer in the NFL.
He's pre-NFL.
Just after he finished bagging groceries, he's throwing bombs in this league, and then he goes to go play with the greatest show on turf.
They never had a win after he left.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Their relevancy was tied to him pretty heavily for a while.
He was the Iowa barn burner.
Right? In 1996, they lost in the semifinal round, so they would have made the Arena Bowl had they won this game, and they lost by 1 point, 55-54 to the Tampa Bay Storm. So,
okay. I'm digging Tampa Bay's name versus the other two in
Yeah,
Florida.
the other Florida team with the Predators.
Florida
not the
seems
good
to be
team.
the real competition at this. But
Yeah.
in the 90s, Florida and Texas, I think, really had like this rivalry of football.
Oh, absolutely. Florida, Texas, and California are like
trying
to fight
it's the
who's the
three
best
coasts.
at
It's the East, the West, and the Dirty Third.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh man!
And then all the best players come from those states.
Yeah.
So
in
the Arena League, you would be getting guys from those states a lot because you want guys that are top tier but didn't quite make the league.
Yeah.
The Arena Bowl 11, August 25th, 1997. The Rattlers against the Iowa Barnstormers, and they win 55-33.
Okay, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, so they jumped on them in the second quarter. Second and third quarter, they had a 42-13 run, and the big hitter in this big run in the second and third quarter was the Iron Man of the game, Hunky Cooper. So in the second quarter, he had a 4-yard touchdown catch. He had a 56-yard kickoff return, and then in the third quarter, he picked off Kurt Warner and returned it for a touchdown.
Oh, he got that Kurt Warner pick.
Yep, pick 6 in the Arena Bowl that basically put it out of reach. It ended the game in the third quarter. So Hunky Cooper was the hero of this Arena Bowl with 3 touchdowns.
Golly. And that first one was only a 4-yard touchdown, but still,
yep,
that was massive.
The MVP of the game was the backup quarterback that replaced Cedric Bonner that broke his leg in the game before, in the semifinal playoff game.
Cedric did, or
Cedric Bonner broke his. Someone rolled up on the back of his leg and broke his leg. Yeah,
on purpose.
Yeah, I mean
sabotage.
94, 97, they win Arena Bowl 8, Arena Bowl 11. After 97, they have a 4-year run where they make the playoffs, and they make runs. They lose to the champions in 98, 99, and 2000. Ooh. They lose in the semifinal round, so the game before the Arena Bowl.
Okay.
But the Predators beat them in 98 and 2000. And then the Albany Firebirds beat them in 99.
Predator years.
Yeah. And then in 2001, they lost in the second round of the playoffs. Another thing, in 2001, do you remember that motivational speaker?
The big teeth.
Yeah. At our graduation ceremony?
Oh, wait.
What was that all about?
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Oh, yes.
You remember that guy?
Oh, when we graduate, yes.
Way too
I thought you just meant in
intense.
general in 2001. But yeah, at our,
Wasn't that like alarmingly intense?
That was my first experience with PTSD.
You should get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not going to stop there.
That's how you just do it.
What are you waiting for?
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Rip this off. Beat your fucking face. You got that on.
Was that your dream?
Yes, you can. Just do it.
Well, I was deeply disturbed by that. Loveable Losers is brought to you by Norm's House of Chicken Fingers in Walla Walla, Washington. Now back to Eric and Brian.
In 2002.
That year was rough. Let me just take a moment. It was a weird year for everybody. It was a whole 2 days. There was no planes in the sky. Right at the end of the year before that.
The first year, the 2002 year, the team that they're playing in the Arena Bowl is the San Jose SaberCats. They split so far with the San Jose SaberCats. Lost by one, won by a touchdown. What did they do in the Arena Bowl? Final score was 52-14. San Jose, their one loss to Arizona was their only loss all year. 2003, Arena Bowl 17, they played the Tampa Bay Storm. And on the way to that Arena Bowl, they avenged their loss from the year before. They beat San Jose. They beat the SaberCats.
Yes.
So,
avenge!
The 2003 Arena Bowl, they had just turnover problems big time, and
They lost again. They lost all
lost
of them,
again.
didn't they?
They lost all 3. So 2003 was a really close. They only lost by 14. And in 2004, that one was just a demoralizing loss. In the end of the run, they just weren't as good after that.
They reshuffled the cards on their team after that one.
Yeah. So they lose their 3 in a row Arena Bowls. 2004 was a 7-point loss. They had it. They had a chance at the end. It just flew right through Hunky Cooper's hands, right through the back of the end zone.
Yep, that's how I catch.
Yeah, it was just like that was the end of the run. They didn't know. Both of them stuck around for a few years. Hunky played one more year, or he played through 5, and then Bonner played through 7, and then he played another team in 8. So that was the end of the run, and then at the end of the 2004 season,
So sad. Sorry.
Danny White leaves and goes.
Sean White's grandfather.
He starts this expansion franchise in Utah called the Blaze.
Utah. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, so he left.
I liked that name.
Right after the 2004 season, and then started with the Blaze in 2006.
Okay.
And so that was kind of like the ending press conference on Any Given Sunday, where he's like, "I'm taking over Albuquerque team, and I'm taking Willie Beeman with me."
Oh.
And there actually is kind of a Willie Beeman character too. There's this guy Joe Germain. He was a backup quarterback for Arizona, and he played in Arizona in 04 and 05. And he kind of looked like he was the heir apparent to take over for Bonner. And then in
they kept
06,
bringing back.
he moved over to Utah.
Oh,
He went with Danny
Who was
White.
the coach.
Yep.
Who's coming with me?
But yeah, Joe Germain, he had those good years. I think he had over 100 touchdowns the one year. So he had good years. And Danny White took this Utah team to the playoffs the 3 years that he coached them. So his career was undeniable too. He coached for 11 years in the Arena Football, and he went to the playoffs 10 years out of the 11. In 3 of the years, he was the Utah Blaze head coach, an expansion team. The only year that he missed the playoffs was the first every year.
Huh. But that's like a rookie year.
Yeah,
Like, you're supposed to make playoffs your first year? Like,
with Utah, he did. Yeah, but with Arizona, he didn't in '92.
But that was he was just starting out coaching, kind of, or whatever. Like,
his first
by Utah, he had
professional
to
year
figure it
coaching.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
His last year,
He must be a really good coach.
the Blaze started 0-9, and they still made the playoffs. So that was like his final year coaching. He did that, and he was like, "All right, hang my head up." Accomplish that.
0-9.
Yeah, they finished with a 6-10 record and made the playoffs.
Okay. So they probably had to win like 5. So they were 0-9, then went 5-9, and then 5-10, and then 6-10 or something like.
Yep.
But they had to win back to back to back to back a couple. Otherwise, they would have. This wouldn't have been a story.
Yeah,
I wouldn't exist right now.
Well, it still would have been the Any Given Sunday thing because
Well, that part, yes.
that was just the move over to the expansion team. Finding out that expansion team, he took them to the playoffs 3 years in a row. I mean, they lost in the wild card
That's a
round.
real fuck you to that team he left, though. Like, and I'm here for it.
They probably left on good. I mean,
I don't know.
When I was researching it,
that does not sound like that's him. I mean, the fact that he left losing with them and went and won with another team.
Well, they got bounced out of the wild card round every year, the 3 years. But
Did it look like he tried harder?
the last little tidbit I had on this team that I saw in my notes here is the years that everyone was elected to the Hall of Fame. So there was 4 different players that went to the Hall of Fame, and they were all elected in consecutive years. Hunky Cooper went in 2011, and then Cedric and a guy named Randy Gatewood went in 12, and then another guy, Bob McMillan, went into the Hall of Fame in 2013. But our head coach, Danny White, he was elected into the Hall of Fame in 2002. So, like, as this last run happened, he was elected in the Hall of Fame in 2002, and they went, 2 more years into the Arena League.
Is he still the coach?
Yeah. So he was the.
You don't have to be retired?
I guess not the coach. There's rules that in the
Or-
NFL that you have to be retired for 5 years, but maybe the AFL is different.
Or he might have been retired for 5 years and came back.
No, he was still the coach.
Oh,
It was
shoot.
2002. I mean,
Yeah.
he was the coach of the
Huh.
team. You know.
I guess, yeah.
But I mean, coaches and administrators, that's a different thing. Like, you
And
could
players.
be elected into the Hall of Fame at any time if you deserve it. you
They
know?
don't want to put you a player in and you keep playing and
Yeah.
keep winning, which he did. Maybe he kind of set the bar on. Oh shit, we gotta rethink how we let people in on this.
What sports do you want to see us do on this show here?
All right. Fair question. As far as next sport, extreme.
All right.
Like, I want to be either shocked because I've never heard of it before, or scared because I keep visualizing myself participating.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Loveable Losers. Feel free to comment your likes and dislikes on the episode. Loveable Losers Pod on Instagram and YouTube,